So let's bring in our guests. We have our regular Joe Nolan. How's things, Joe?
Oh, good now, Kev. Yeah,
Good to have you on once again. Yeah, not too bad, thanks. And of course, Mr. Peter Fortune. Peter, great to have you on. Thanks for joining us. I think a lot of lads would have expected you to be maybe having a little tipple to yourself at the moment, but you've taken a bit of time to chat to us here on the podcast, and we're very grateful for it. So thanks for coming on. How's things? And well done.
Thanks very much, Kev. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, no, I'm leaving tonight to the younger members of the team to carry it on in my absence now. I think I'm getting to that stage. I remember when we won our first one with St Mullins, we were all mad to go out for 2 or 3 days, and I don't think I have that in me anymore now. One night is enough for me.
You're only a chap still, sure. Joe, you trained this lad in minor. That was only about 4 years ago, was it?
Jesse,
You're giving me a few years now.
he nearly passed for one still. Look at him, how fresh faced he is. He's not getting enough. He's not getting enough hardship wherever he is. Anyway, I tell you, he's getting it too easy.
I'm getting looked after too well up here in Louth. That's the problem.
And maybe that's why he's not being allowed out, Kevin. No, that's the hard question you have to ask.
Possibly. We won't rule it out yet. We'll try not to keep him for the whole night because he might get out for a snaky one on the QT. Even though we do have a lot of people looking and listening, so I mightn't be that much on the QT. But Peter, come here. give us a flavour of kind of, you're up in Louth. You're playing for St Fechin, as we said. You won the senior championship. How long are you up there? Why are you up there? And what's it like up there?
Well, I suppose it all starts off with St Mullins. As most stories in my life will always come back to, my youth and playing with St Mullins. And say when I went to Maynooth, I met a lovely lady called Megan, and we've been together for a good few years now. And I suppose we'd always kind of talked about when we got to a certain age that maybe a move would have to happen. And I got the curly finger to come up to Louth instead of coming down to Carlow. So, but yeah, no, look, I moved up here to I'm 4 years teaching up here now in a school called Callysound National School out in Clogherhead. And I suppose when I moved up here originally, I continued to play with St Mullins for 2 years, and look, it was quite difficult. I was leaving school with a lunchbox full of pasta and chicken to get on the M50 to drive down to Carlow and get there for 7:30 onto the field, back out and back up here at 11:30, 12 o'clock into school the next morning, back down on a Friday. And it got to the stage where it was, being taking a good lot out of me. And all the lads in St Mullins will know I have hamstrings made out of cheese strings, so all the driving in the car wasn't doing the best for me either. So look, the year, actually, funny enough, the year we got to the Leinster final, I kind of made the decision before the county final that day that win, lose or draw, I was going to make the transition up here and look for the transfer. And luckily enough, there's a fella actually I actually transferred to a football club first. Joe will be shocked to hear now. He would never see me maybe with the big ball in my hand, but I transferred to a club called Dunleer up here. As a couple of friends from college were playing with them, and they were actually letting me train the odd night when I couldn't get down to St Mullins. They were letting me train with Dunleer for fitness and stuff like that. So I transferred to them, and then one of the teachers in school, he was in goal for us yesterday with the Fechins, and as soon as he heard I was transferring up, he had the transfer request handed in for me to get one to the Fechins as well. So look, it's been great. I have to say, both clubs have welcomed me in, massively. And I was saying to you there earlier, like, leaving St Mullins was probably the hardest decision I've had to make, because I suppose down in St Mullins, hurling is everything. Everyone you meet on the road, it's the first thing to say, how's training going, how's the matches going. And even the year I moved, it was COVID, and then I couldn't even get down then to get into a game or anything. Or I felt like a real clean break. And I'd say not seeing some of the lads and stuff like that you're used to seeing 3-4 nights a week every week for 7 or 8 months of the year. So, but look, no, it's been great now. It has been, and I'm delighted with it so far anyway.
And no major issues going from club to club up there. There was no one standing in your way or anything like.
No.
I don't mean for St Mullins now, but even within Loudmore, so I'm talking about. Yeah.
With St Mullins, like, I got the most well wishes even before the final there the other day. I know you sent out a nice message to me, but the club at home had a thing up on Facebook about it as well. And just like, they were very supportive of it. I think everyone kind of knew the situation was getting to where it was a lot, and the lads were nearly saying to me, "Geez, you're mad coming down Tuesday evening." And but I'd be a bit like that. If I'm committed to a team, I'm committed to the team, regardless if I'm living 2.5, 3 hours away. Like so, but no, in fairness, there was no bother. Basically, once the football club I play with has no hurling at all. It's a just sole football club. So once there was no hurling involved, it was easy enough to get it sorted.
Right, well, I'm not going to name people, but I know a lad, and I'd say the two of you probably hurled with him, with Carlow Miners. I think he could be a year ahead of you, actually, Peter. He's a year younger than me and a year ahead of you, right? And he's living around the Kildare area, and there's two very well-known clubs, football clubs, I should say now, in Newbridge, right? And he'd registered with one, and the following year, the other crowd ran to him to go play. So he went over and played, but there was some problem with the forms, and he scored about 1-9 or 1-10 against them. And they came over after the match and were like, "What the fuck is going on here? Like, this lad's one of ours," kind of thing, But I doubt it's that crazy up there. But you're not on your own, of course, up there, Pete. There is another lad
No,
from down our direction, a very
there
famous
is,
character,
yeah.
Barry the Bowser Dial, and you're related as well. So you're hunting in
Yeah,
packs.
yeah, I think it's third cousins now. Again, this every time we try and tell this story, it changes. I think what relation we actually are. But yeah, on my mum's side, we're related. And I was actually talking to his mum. I actually got down to the St Mullins Bagnallstown match there a couple of weeks ago, and I met his mum, and she was saying that we were in the final at that stage, and his club Manina were hoping to get into it, and she was saying she was hoping to be up, but Knockbridge unfortunately bet them in the semi final. So, but yeah, no, I've be running into Barry now and again.
You want to tell us about literally nearly running into him, or is this podcast material? So you might as well now, not
Well,
to
I
put it
don't
out
mind
there.
this. I mean, Barry are fairly open with each other. We don't mind too much. Well, we had a little altercation on the sideline a few weeks ago, at a junior league match. As you know yourself, Barry can be quite bold when he wants to be, and he decided one of our fellas, Thomas McCreesh, he's a real fast fella, and he was on this long solo run down the sideline, and Barry decided it'd be a good idea to put his hands out over the sideline like this, out over his hurl to give him a fright. And I was fairly quick to tell Barry to sit back down into the dugout, but we hugged it out after the match anyway. We were grand.
Yeah, well, Peter, I'm going to say one thing, right? Because I feel like I'm relatively well placed to make a call on the standard. I was up there 2 years ago, and we saw a couple of
Yeah,
games. Manina were playing, I think it was Knockbridge, and Fechins were playing after it. And I have to admit, like a lot of people would be if they saw it, the standard was pretty decent. Like some lads in particular, your man Darren Gagan was hitting the freeze for Manina
yeah.
and flawless from him. Darren will be well known actually, but not just that. Like the overall standard, I thought was pretty good, and it looked like a county that was making real progress. You were in with the county yourself this year, so like, where do you see it, and how much more improvements can be made, and how quickly can that happen? Do you think?
Yeah, well, like lads you're after mentioning there, like Darren, like I put him up at a level where, like, I remember playing the Rangers, and the story was always you can't give Dennis Murphy a free within 100 yards or in scored, like, and Darren is at that standard of free taking where, like, even with Loud this year, like there was a couple of times where he scored frees that he had no right to score, and kind of helped us, get over the line in games, and well, look, like again, like I had really no experience of it until I came up, and I trained with the lads a couple of times, while I was with St Mullins again, just like the odd night when if I couldn't make it down, and again, like I thought, like, the standard was very good, and then going into the county scene, like, I suppose I unfortunately it just never worked out for me. I never really got the chance to play adult hurling with Carlo. I always say I was very fortunate to get to play, minor and under 21, and be on that panel that beat Dublin that day in Parnell Park. And I've some brilliant memories playing with Carlo, and even that man over there. He was a big part of a lot of our memories growing up and heading off on buses to matches and blitzes and all that kind of crack. But I suppose that was a big transition to me, like, to go and play at a standard, a county standard. It is a different kind of standard to club, no matter what level it's at. But oh, look, there's some real great hurling people up here, and there's lads who really want Loud hurling to keep going and drive on and improve. And like I often reference St Mullins or Carlo myself when people ask me questions about it, and I would say, like, I can see what Carlo did you know, in the last couple of years, and I know some counties mock the whole Carlo Rising the slogan or whatever, but it was real there for a while where, you know, the boys were making serious progress to where they were playing the likes of, like I was at the match against Kilkenny in Dr. Cullen that day, and I know it didn't go their way, but, you know, to say that they were like playing, you know, the best hurlers in the country, like, you know, so I think if the time is invested in it, and, you know, the lads are keeping the interest in it, it definitely can continue to improve and continue to move on. I suppose the big problem we have up here is it's a massive football area. Like Louth football is the bee's knees up here for most people, and I suppose it's probably taken, not in my time since I was here, because it's been very positive my whole time here, but it probably has been looked down on inside the county, and probably not got the same treatment that the football has got in aspects of maybe fixtures and things like that. And you know, so look, I can't speak highly enough of it anyway for the 2 years I've been here, and I'd be hoping that to stay involved with Louth now for the next couple of years. And you know, we got promotion this year from 3B to 3A, and try to go up and test ourselves up there, and then, you know, you're always striving to, you know, stay there for maybe a year, then try maybe push on again and get up to the next division again. So you know, there's some great lads here that, you know, Ronan Byrne there that's playing with Knockbridge yesterday, full back. Like, you know, there's lads here, OE that's playing there with Menina, with Barry's club. Like, you know, they've been playing with Louth for over a decade now, and, you know, like, so there's, you know, there's lads inside every county that are like it, but, you know, hurling's their life and they love it, and they'll do everything they can for Louth hurling. And same in our club, you know, we have lads like Bazo there. He might enjoy a shout out there, but, you know, lads that have been hurling for years and years and years, and, you know, just keeping it going.
Joe, do you want to jump in and ask Peter a question?
Yeah, well, yeah, Genie Mac. It's great to hear him. It's great to see him.
It's great to see you as well, Joe.
Yeah, I always like, I know going back to years, but I would have been involved with some squads with Peter, and like it's brilliant to see your success, and it's brilliant to see that you're staying with hurling, because I suppose something like you made the big move, like you said there, to move, you know, to move away from home, and some lads kind of that can signal the death knell, but you got stuck in, and you know, but you were like that as a young lad anyway. You know, you could see the passion, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant, like I said. And it's brilliant to see how, like, Louth hurling. I have to hold my hand up. I know a little bit about it. You know, it's a competitive championship up there. I mean, you're looking at the teams there who win the championship, and it's, you know, it's next to nothing between any of them on any given day. So that's obviously a great sign for hurling in the county. Am I right in thinking, Peter? Was there a new underage club started up there a couple of years back? I think there was 2 Banner lads involved with it. I don't know whether it's still on the go. Would that be right?
I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% sure myself now, Joe. To be honest, I wouldn't know much about the underage scene yet. I've only kind of started getting roped in now. I'm helping out one of the lads with the under 13s up here now, and trying to, you know, give him a dig out. He's actually a selector on our panel as well. But
I think it was in. Yeah, I think it was in actually I one of the big towns. Because I remember actually sending up broken hurls. They were going to repair. They were looking for hurls and helmets to get the club going up and going. So that's a brilliant sign. Like, I mean, to grow in hurling and then growing it in the big centres of population in counties like Louth, and any county, like obviously like our own as well, is always a brilliant sign, because, you know, numbers will drive it forward, which is great to see. You know.
Definitely. Oh yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, sorry, Kev, but no, definitely. And success, I think, is like, we're lucky. Like, we got 2 cups with Louth in the last year with the Lowry Mar, and then the Division 3B. Like, and even like I brought the cup into the Division B3 cup into the school. Like, and the interest the kids had in them, they're all like, Clogherhead is a pure football area. Now, there wouldn't be many that would, you know, there'd be a few lads might have a hurl in the garage that to take out on a sunny day, but that'd be the height of it. And so they were mad to see the match, and, you know, to know what was going on, and like you said, like, that's where it starts. Like, I still remember James Jordan bringing me and Seamus Jordan to our first training down in Bahana, and like, that's where you get the love for it. That's when you fall in love with it. Although I think Seamus walloped me on my knee that day, and I went home bawling. But
he didn't lose that. He never lost that trait for a while.
No, he was throwing. I'll never forget. He was throwing grass up and hitting him with the hurl, and I turned around and bang on the knee. Anyway, that was my first experience of hurling, was Seamus Jordan sending me home with a swollen knee. And he sent me home with a lot of them, I'd say, in training in years to come then as well.
Yeah,
Great stuff. Listen, Peter, it's fantastic. I think you touched on a very important thing regards bringing the cup into the school as well. That's all so important in building a bit of a culture, building an interest, and getting people playing the game. Like, so fair play to you. If they head in the right place. I know, look, we won't keep you the whole night. We said about 20 past to let you go, so we're on 20 past now.
You're okay. We're not in any rush anyway.
We want to say it very, very well done. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's great to see anyone. I don't know, is there many people that have gone outside Carlow and won a senior championship? Like, you know, St Mullins maybe, but other than that, there's not too many. Like, so you're in fair company there, and well done on it. And thanks for jumping on with us.
Yeah. And there's no truth in the rumor that you left St Mullins because of Gary Bennett. No,
I was actually going to say, I felt when Kevin gave me the text, I was very worried because I said it's very hard to top a Gary Bennett appearance the week after. I wouldn't have minded maybe a filler episode with someone else on it before I came on. Maybe he's a great character. I love Gary. I love Gary now. He's a top man, and you couldn't come across a sounder fella.
Absolutely.
Mad as a bag of cats, but couldn't come across.
You need a few of them lads too. 100%.
Yeah.
You have a fair few characters down there. Listen, Peter, well done again. Thanks for joining us here on the Left Wing Back Show. All right.
Well done, Peter.
Thanks very much, Kev. Thanks, Joe.
We'll talk to you again.
Take care.
That's Peter Fortune.